The former Lakeside Finder Darts Masters champion. He's Dutch. He's Noppert. Danny Noppert. We now introduce a winner of 2 PDC Euro Tour titles. 7 times a TV Major Champion, the Machine, James Wade!
Well, Michael Van Gerwen absolutely blew away Michael Smith, whitewashing him 7-0 to book his place in the final. And he will meet an unseeded player, Danny Noppert, his first year on the PDC after switching from the BDO, where he made the World Championship final at the Lakeside at the start of 2017. And up against one of the most decorated players in the PDC, James Wade, who had to come through the UK qualifiers. Danny actually played 3 games here on Thursday night in the European qualifier to book his place in the first round, and saw, among others, took the scalp of Benito van der Pas on Thursday night in that qualifying tournament. But a great opportunity for a European final and some prize money to boot, and the chance to take on the best in the world, MVG. And watching this second semi-final alongside me is Dan Dawson.
Well, Danny Noppert finds himself in a first PDC semi-final here, but my word, he's had some fortune along the way. Yes, he's played well. Yes, he's defied 100 averages from Gerwyn Price and from Peter Snakebite Wright. He benefited from a collapse by Joe Cullen.
To throw first. Game on.
But Danny Noppert, Noppy the Dutchman, has survived match darts in all 3 of his last games. 2 against Cullen, 1 against Wright, 1 against Gerwyn Price. Is it fate that the Finder Masters champion, he won the Finder Masters the back end of last year before he made the switch from the BDO, came through Q School? Is it fate that he's going to find himself in his first PDC final tonight and maybe go on and win the title? To do that, he's going to have to beat James Wade, as you say, one of the most successful players in the history of this sport, and then the best player in the world. And from what we've seen from Noppy, he can be competitive,
47.
but he's not thrown anything that you would think is going to scare either of these 2 guys. I mean, nothing scares either of these 2 guys, to be honest.
No, he certainly
100.
used up plenty of lives in that win over Joe Cullen earlier on this evening. And Joe Cullen must be kicking himself back in the practice room, as Danny Noppert missed match dart after match dart before eventually coming through 6-5.
137.
But he's given himself the opportunity to turn it on here. James Wade has been turning it on all year. He's already made 1 final this year.
95.
And surprise, surprise, James Wade came up against Michael Van Gerwen in that final. He was beaten in that final by 6 legs to 4. In fact, Michael Van Gerwen has been his opponent in 3 of the last 4 finals he's contested. He's lost to all of them. The last time he won was May 2016 on the European Tour, beating Dave Chisnell in the final of the European Darts match play, having beaten Michael Van Gerwen in that same session, it should be said.
Well, he's going to have to face him again, unless this man, Danny Noppert from Jura in the Netherlands, can stop him.
139. He requires 71.
Double 17 leaves double 10. Double 10 wasn't his friend against Simon Whitlock, but it is here, and that is ominous for Danny Noppert.
Yes, a break right at the start.
Game on.
This first to 7 semi-final. The final later on will be the first to 8, best of 15 legs. And for reaching the semi-final, these two are guaranteed £6,000 in prize money. The losing finalist £10,000 and the winner £25,000.
Well, it should be noted that, I mean, look, James Wade's made, this is his third semi-final this year on the Euro Tour. I mean, he's been one of the best players on the Euro Tour this year, hands down. But Danny Noppert, £2,000 at the European Darts Open, £2,000 at the German Darts Open, £6,000 here. That's on the German Darts Grand Prix as well. I missed that one out. So he's already on 12 grand. He's going to the European Championship. That almost certainly is going to be enough. And he's done that in 5 events.
100.
And this is how, you know, how important these tournaments can be, and why so many players want to take part in them, and they can realise what effect they can have on your career generally for somebody starting out on the PDC like Danny.
100.
Or in terms of taking form into the other tournaments on the increasingly busy calendar.
140.
Yeah, it's been very up and down from Danny Noppert in the rest of the Pro Tour events. He had a quarter-final in one of the UK Open qualifiers, but everything else, its last 16's been the best he's done. So this is a big, big day for Danny Noppert. And yes, all right, he has ridden his luck a little bit over the course of the weekend, but he has then taken his chances. James Wade looking to take this chance. Treble 15 would have left double top. It's next door for the treble 10, will leave double top.
And time on his hands to double that lead.
Well, Noppert made a slow start against Joe Cullen and started moving through the gears, but he was only allowed to do that by Joe Cullen, who let him. Because Cullen just did not play anywhere near the standard that we'd seen over the course of the weekend leading up to that game. Well, it could be another double 10-a-thon with James Wade here. And he's hitting it.
Yes, the first 5 legs traded between James and Simon Whitlock in the quarter-final all finished bizarrely on double 10.
The most bizarre thing about it was that, I mean, James Wade won 4 of them, and yeah, all right, it's an anomaly to see him win all 4 of his legs on double 10. But the fact it just kept taking him so long to hit it.
Yes.
He was having 2 or 3 goes at double 10 before he hit it every single leg. I mean, usually it's a bit like this. It's just double 10, James Wade, double 10 hit. That's it. If that was just his little blip, and he said at the end of his match, everybody's allowed a bad day at the office, everybody's allowed a bad game, and I've seen worse games this weekend. Didn't see any worse games this afternoon. This afternoon was unreal.
Yeah, superb fare for third round afternoon here on the European Darts Grand Prix Sunday. And the crowd have been given a real treat.
140.
And still more darting delights to come before the winner of the 2018 European Darts Grand Prix is crowned later tonight.
Noppy left himself a bogey number with that ton 40. Well, it's 25 off, so we'll go back to the 20s because single 20 leaves Shanghai.
45.
Exactly what he's done. A decent setup shot here from James Wade. And it's going to be half decent.
100. And you require 120.
So treble, single and double on the 20s, the Shanghai shot. There's the first bit done, there's the second bit done. Can he see through for a dart at the double. Well,
100.
I think the live that was awkward, and a chance then for Wade to pounce if he hits double 19 for a 118 checkout.
99.
Wired it.
You require 20.
Another one on double 10, lads. Maybe not.
No score.
Decides to bust his
James
score. I
Wade,
think that's
19.
sensible. James Wade 3 for double 8. Other side of the board. And he pins that with very little bother. And James Wade's finishing here has put him 3-0 up with 2 breaks of throw.
Game on.
And, well, could we see another 7-0 whitewash in this semi-final night?
Well, it's a possibility. I'm just looking at the way that Wade is finishing here, and he doesn't look like he's going to be quite as charitable as Joe Cullen was for Danny Noppert and allow him back into the game. So it's just whether Wade can maintain his focus. And in the past, James Wade has lost his concentration a bit when he's built up a big lead, because he just thinks it's all coming a little bit too easily. However,
140.
after his struggles last year and not playing particularly good stuff at all, certainly not by his own magnificent standards, he seems to have the hunger back, and he seems to want to be up there and beating people and beating them well.
140.
And I would be quite surprised if he took his foot off the gas, James Wade. It's not by any means stellar stuff he's throwing here,
100.
but it's significantly better than Danny Noppert right now.
Yes, and it's getting the job done. I mentioned earlier that we saw a bit of everything in the quarterfinals after that fantastic match between MVG and Dave Chisnell. But a win is a win is a win. And sometimes you need to just grind them out.
Treble 19 should be the shot. Okay.
145.
Yeah, well, rather than gamble on the treble 19, if it's a single there, it leaves him 62. Here, it should mean he gets 2 darts at the double, whereas 62 you may only get 1. So, that's the thinking behind it for James Wade. 16 for double top. Will the good finishing continue?
Great marker for tops. Very good indeed. And starting to show a similar pattern to the first semi-final. One-way traffic in the direction of the machine, James Wade.
177.
Well, it's something for Danny Noppert to build upon.
Snuck that treble through with the last dart.
Four perfect darts.
140.
Even the crowd have given up cheering the 4, 5, 6 perfect darts. They know the 9 darter doesn't happen on the Euro Tour.
It's a better leg from Danny.
43.
I could make an argument that Michael Van Gerwen going straight at the ball for a 10 darter is almost as good as a 9 darter.
Yeah, that was that was cheeky, and even Michael Smith had to smile at him
140.
when he stepped up and went straight for ball earlier on. And a chance then for Danny Noppert to get a leg on the board finally, and who knows, maybe
44.
start to step it up a gear if this gives him a bit of confidence. Hitting a winning double. It's double 10 again. Can't do it, but James still back on 2-1-8. All James can do is try and put pressure on the shot.
100.
He's left that 1-1-8 again that he threatened to take out. These ones can be awkward. Nothing awkward about that. Danny Noppert is on the board. There will be no double whitewash in the semi-finals. We have seen that on the European Tour.
100.
I don't remember when it happened. We have seen 2 whitewashes in the semi-finals. I think it was in a tournament where all 4 of the quarterfinals went 6-5. I'm sure one of our statisticians, somebody will dig it up on Twitter. The rich and varied history of the Euro Tour over the last 6 years that it's been going, 5.5 years, and it's grown and grown and grown in this time to the point where Sindelfingen, an ever-present on the Euro Tour, is busier than it's ever been. Remember when you see big, wide-open spaces in the seats all around the back there, but not anymore.
Yeah, the interest and growth of the European Tour has been fantastic to see. And now the European Tour up to 13 events this year.
Yeah, 13 events. Copenhagen, a new one. New venue in Zwolle next weekend, although obviously we have been to the Netherlands before. Oh, look at that. First 9 average for Danny Noppert. That's his first 180. First one in the match. Double 19 and ball. For a very wadey checkout.
So,
95.
Great chance there for Danny Noppert to follow up that maximum with double top for an 11 darter, 12 darter. Not to be, and again, he needs to start taking those chances because James Wade will step up and punish you.
Danny to throw first. Game on.
Well, he had a dart in the 3rd leg to hold his throw and was broken. He's had a couple of darts there. He is 1 out of 8 on his doubles, Danny Noppert.
85.
Whereas James Wade's at 50% and averaging in the mid to high 90s because Wade is putting in a Wade display.
58.
When Rob Cross averaged around 100 against him, he averaged a little bit more. When Max Hopp averaged about 90 against him, he averaged a little bit more. Danny Noppert's averaging 94 against him. He's averaging a little bit more. James Wade going about his business. It is down to Noppy to disrupt that.
Well, he's hit a 177 and 2 180s in the last 3 legs, Danny Noppert.
180.
But James Wade has the perfect answer.
He should be staying there, but does he block a darts? Haven't been that much of an issue for him so far.
140.
Noppert favourite to take this leg and reduce the deficit to 4.
Just doing the maths here. 77 scored, leaves 186. So if he goes 19, that would leave 167, and he's absolutely fuming with himself because he's bamboozled. And George can tell him what he scored and what he's left, but he can't tell him what to go for.
134. Danny, you require 96.
A little smirk from George Noble there. Double 18. Well, double 16. It's a way to do it.
Well, 12 darter from Danny Noppert. We said he's got to disrupt James Wade, and that's a great way to go about it. 12 darter on your own.
190.
And all he's done is woken Wadey up. Noppert's average climbs. Wadey's average climbs to just a little bit more than Noppy.
190.
But he's got going, hasn't he?
Yeah, the 180 is certainly flowing now from the Dutchman.
Why do you zoom, lads? Come on.
100.
Come on. Wait, how do you maintain your optimism that this is going to happen? Camera operators, this unshakable faith that the 9 darter is going to happen any moment.
For the first time in 5 years on the European Tour. The crowd getting a sing-song going. As well as for the players, it's quite a effort of endurance for the crowds at these European Tour events.
Yeah, they've got a couple of hours in between the sessions to go outside in the sunshine in Sindelfingen and recharge their batteries or drink. One of the two, probably a bit of both.
And we will have a little 15-20 minute interval after this semi-final to allow the players to prepare for the final.
How much longer has this semi-final got in it? This 167 goes, it would suggest quite a way.
It won't go, so 64 for James Wade.
41. James requires 64.
Treble 8 for tops, I would imagine. Single 16 now. Double top.
Yes, and now just one leg away from a place in the final. And Danny's throwing first here, but it's now or never, Danny. He's been finding that red bit more and more regularly as the match has worn on. And there he goes again, kicking off with a maximum.
Yeah, he's had a big 3 treble visit in each of the last 5 legs, Danny Noppert, but he's only won 2 of them.
59.
Although we are in the 5th one here. And already you feel he's going to win this one, but the thing is he's not been able to break James Wade in this entire match. Oh, it's slow zoom. Maybe that'll help. Tentative faith in the 9.
Well, could it? Ye of little faith, Dan Dawson.
58.
Call it INSA.
I have little faith because the 9 darter does not happen on the Euro Tour. And I am begging to be proven wrong one day.
100.
41 remaining though for Danny Noppert after just 9 darts. Great effort. Showed some steel. Digging in. And he is averaging more than 100. And irony upon ironies, Danny Noppert, having survived match darts at each of his last 3 games, and defied a couple of 100 averages, he might end up averaging 100 in this one and going out of the tournament, and going out quite convincingly in terms of the leg scoreline.
60.
Well, an opportunity to reduce the arrears to 3 legs again. And Wade's still not on a finish. If he does fluff this double 2, which he does.
58.
Yeah, this is one of those legs where James Wade decided that he wasn't going to win it, and so has just eased up, really. And in the end, Danny Noppert gets the leg in the bag, but it wouldn't surprise you if Wade fires in a very strong leg here, because he's probably had half an eye on this one.
100.
A solid ton to kick off.
Well, there you see James Wade, couple of 15s, a 14, a 13. Bearing in mind that against Simon Whitlock, they played 9 legs. It was only the 9th leg that he managed to complete in 5 visits. Everything else was 6 visits to the board. He's upped his game, and he is averaging... Well, there was a moment there just a second ago where they were both averaging 97.01 exactly. But Wade, once again, doing what he needs to do. Where he is at the minute, and he's got some breathing space in this match to try and get over the finishing line.
100.
3 consecutive tons in this leg. He is forcing Danny Noppert to find another 12 darter from somewhere.
Steadily working his way down from 501.
21.
Well, that may be the white flag from Danny Noppert. This time he did gamble on the 57 rather than going for the 25 that would have guaranteed 2 match darts. But he'll come back and have a look at treble 14 to leave double 10. Stick another in the treble, Danny.
100.
Couldn't do it.
62.
And that's not enough pressure. Not that pressure is a thing for James Wade. He thrives on it.
42. Danny, you require 140.
And this would start to cause a stir. It won't happen though, and so James Wade will step up for his favoured double 10.
100. You require 20.
For the match. And hits it. A 7-3 win. James Wade through to another European Tour final, but he's up against a Michael van Gerwen who's been in sensational form tonight, and it's sure to be a real treat. Don't go away. We'll have a short interval just to let James get ready for that final, and Michael, of course. You won't miss a thing. The European Darts Grand Prix, it's been a cracking day of darts, and there's still more to come. The first man to 8 wins the trophy and £25,000. We'll be back soon.